Hello, beloveds. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Welcome back if you're returning. This is Sherry Mosley, and we'll be doing our check-in for this very, very powerful super full moon of April 26th, 2021. So I'm sure you've been feeling this all week. I made a live post last week about the energy, and it's definitely increased over the weekend. And Monday, has just been, I don't know, I feel like I'm on another planet, but I probably am. I received a very deep transmission this morning, and it's a new healing modality that I'm being calibrated to do, and it is working with the Elohim and the 5 rays of light of the inner Elohim. So this is connecting to the Christ consciousness, the ascended consciousness, and this is going to be a new healing frequency to assist everybody in their personal healing, as well as healing work that healers are doing for others. And when we talk about healing work, we're talking about ascension in terms of dropping all dense energies, frequencies, patterns that are no longer serving. This last cycle since the new moon has been very intense in terms of relationships, and it has left no space for condoning relationships that are based on false connection. And what's meant by false connection is there can be a soul connection, but if you are operating from a place of a disserving pattern for the relationship, that's the part that has to go, which is why there may have been a lot of maybe triggers, things coming up, maybe feeling like you want to end something, get out of it. This can also come in any relationship, and this also may be then like in your work sector, maybe relationships with coworkers, family, siblings, parents, grandparents, any relationship, okay? So there is a mass purging that started with this new moon, and the reason is because the frequencies are increasing immensely, which is why this new healing energy modality that I'm going to be offering is coming in, because there's a whole new frequency coming in. And I've talked about this in the Akashic Enlightenment Mastership group, where we work in the Akashic Enlightenment, answering questions, as well as, discussing what shifts have taken place in everybody's lives in the last 2 weeks. And I also do transmissions in that group. And one thing I've talked about is what I've been calling the energy frequency sandwich. So if you are familiar with Napoleon ice cream sandwiches, where there's the strawberry, vanilla, chocolate, there's the layers, right? So what we're looking at is the layers of frequency consciousness that is present on Earth. And, sometimes we use the terms 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D as a way of referring to these densities of frequency in the sense of consciousness, and how much someone is coming from their ego self versus their present self, their I am presence, their divine will, their soul path, their soul alignment, their connection to source, their higher guidance, their connection to Holy Spirit, ascended master frequency, however you want to term that. It means that you're coming from a place of, let's call it divine will versus ego will. So what's happening is, as the frequencies of Earth increase, the ceiling of the highest frequency is raising, which means that those who are already in the upper frequencies are going to be more prepared for just gently ascending up with that energy, meaning you have practices in place. This is why I do the light language transmissions, to assist each of you to gracefully go through these ascension upgrades as they continue to come in, to keep you aligned so you're not having a lot of symptoms or a lot of fallout if you're not doing this work. So those that are not doing this work, let's say they're still in 3D, this is going to become volatile when moons like this one come up. So there's what's happening is, in that sense, they're being suddenly dragged up to a higher frequency. And if you're already not dialing in to see what is going on with how you're feeling, then this is going to be painful in the sense of causing suffering, because it's forcing you to look at something that you don't want to look at. So in that sense, it can require a lot of work for some, and for others it's more of a checking in, keeping a vigilance on your mindfulness, your practice, your alignment with who you truly are, outside of maybe what the collective is asking of you, as well as any karmic or ancestral patterns that you may be carrying. And we'll be dealing with ancestral patterns and working with all of that in the now online Maui retreat, which is still on May 18th, and the sign up for that is going to be in the description box below, but it's going to be a virtual retreat. We will be doing ancestral work in that retreat. The new energy is really not allowing for much of any of the old ways. And in our world, a lot of the relationships that we have are based on fear, meaning that they are the most common, and I don't usually talk about this because it's a sensitive topic, or it's a very political topic, you could say, in the Lightworker, Ascension, New Earth community. But talking about these soul connections that we have with people, and what usually pulls us out of alignment are really codependent structures. And, because there has been so much fear on Earth not too long ago, and it's still here. We're talking about like the world wars that took place. That's just 2 generations for some. And so that means that, maybe you were raised in a place that, most likely somebody had some sort of addiction, right? Or there was some sort of abuse. And these types of things cause a lot of trauma. They create individuals who then have a frequency that they're still carrying of connecting with someone in any relationship in these distorted ways. So even though they have soul alignments with people, they're still functioning from this place of, I need to control this person because I want to get what I didn't get when I was little, or I didn't have a lot of control when I was little and now I want control, or I didn't get the love that I needed, so now I'm going to behave this way to get that love. So there's kind of the 2 opposite spectrums of that, right? One is kind of like an unworthiness, and the other one's a little more aggressive in terms of, it's all about me, give me that attention now. And so both of those are egoic, karmic, ancestral paradigms. And as this energy keeps increasing its frequency, there just becomes no space for that. There's no space for it anywhere. And so, people could even create companies, businesses, entire models of ways of living based off of these patterns. And some of them are quite ingrained into our society. So as the energies keep shifting, these are the types of things that are going to be falling out. The other reason for this is, that the time for contact is coming closer and closer, and we really need to, we're talking about interdimensional being, extraterrestrial contact, in case this is new for you. And, there's a lot of suppressed material that is going to be released, and this is just the beginning. I know some, if not many of you, are already in contact with your star families or other benevolent interdimensional beings, and they're choosing who to have those relationships with. And as that increases, that's going to increase the timeline for contact to be open disclosure. And we really need everybody to be, or as many people as we can, out of those old paradigms of the egoic karmic fear patterns, because those are really such a low density that they don't really fit well on a planet that is going to go so high into its intelligent relationship connections, right? It's kind of like if you're going to meet somebody like the Dalai Lama, right? You kind of want to be on your best behavior. This is almost just like from a place of respect for connecting with someone or any being that is coming from a resonance of a higher intelligence, in the sense of compassion, love. That's pretty much it. Compassion and love. So we're really preparing ourselves to be that being that we truly are when we are connected to our highest soul alignment and presence. So this full moon is, and since the new moon, has been a whirlwind of purging out. And this is necessary because the energies are going to start increasing in May. And then we have the next Saturn-Uranus square coming in the middle of June. And this may be pushing forward some of this disclosure information. I did listen to a Stephen Greer discussion where him and there was another person that I do not remember his name, and he's talking about how there is some documentation that was passed that was stating that disclosure needs to happen. So basically the government is being forced to do this at this point. So hold on. The ride is about to get really interesting. And so, it's just with this full moon, let's really take the opportunity to check in and really be honest with ourselves of what do I really need to let go of? How can I really go into deep presence with the relationships that I have in my life? And how can I put those in a light of authenticity, presence, a place of love and compassion? And where can I continue to grow in that direction? So those are great aspects to connect with and meditate on. Maybe ask in your Akashic Enlightenment these questions. If you want to join the Akashic Enlightenment Mastership group, we do some of that work there. So let's go ahead. I know you guys are waiting for the light language, so let's go ahead and check in. Another aspect that I want to bring up before we do this is that the reason this full moon is a super full moon is because, number one, it's in Scorpio, which is known for purging out all of what needs to be purged and diving down deep and not being able to disregard the shadow anymore and needing to shine the light in all the corners. And on that note, the reason we're shining the light is because this is also what's called the Wesak full moon, and this is the celebration for Buddha and enlightenment, and it is connected to Shambhala, which is a place of enlightenment that you can connect to for this full moon. So this is a quick way to go through this is you want to acknowledge all of this shadow work, and so this light can come in, this enlightenment with this Wesak full moon, so there can be great leaps of consciousness, awareness, enlightenment, so a quick turnaround. So that is the benefit of this moon, is that we have this extra wave of awareness and enlightenment coming in while the shadow is being shown or purged. So it may feel really uncomfortable to have all of that come up, but it's so that you can take the opportunity to bring in the enlightenment that's also coming in with this full moon to release that shadow and to completely move out of these old cycles. So let's go ahead and check in with the beautiful Council of Light and Elohim beings, the beings that assist us with stepping up our divine frequency and coming into our divine blueprints to our highest ascended selves, using these moon cycles as mirrors for us to see who we truly are and can surrender to again. Kara o tashe tuana araoko o koa anane ke ahatua te ana ashakatuno. Kastakaro kotoa nakate ke te kotua tatea she te atara oto tosto atara e she te ati atuana akate ere ono. E ano she ke atuare e te arane oti ishte arare ke te aro. Eshtaro koto o she te atu ane. Atuane e te ata uku o te are. Ke tuare e te atana ne te oto te she te ato atara one. One ne te ataro o che e te ando. En te anto a te are e te atuara. Tuara re te she tuana e te she te atuata nene ke ata. Ke ata atua she te eshe, tara ashtara oto atane, e te ananeo ko te ere e ano. E ano she te eha ko to oto ara, atana ne ku te taara atua she e te ona, o anane e te taro. Ta aro to ana de ore e hata. He ataru o hoto, e hoto asha ashataru o toa nea. Nehata o te she te a hoto ata ere e hako atanu akutona. Hakotuana ata te she oto. Te she oto a she te asho ata re e o. Te atona ata You are not alone on this journey, and we are all waiting for you to come and join us where you already are. Hatuare ete e ako, he ako koto kata no katona ana neo no ana. Neora ete anu neata nehoto hatea tona hate te hona nete hete a te hataro uto ashate eshe a tashe tuna toshe te ara une ehato nehato ashe te anto utare eha te hato a toa atana esta ora anda te aru une ea to are ea no asha eo heshu asha te ara uko te anu oate atuana aha to ato hesha o to aha to hatua tashe aro oko unane ete nea no o te akta teste akteka toko ataka teko atako akte te akte ara kukotu katanoko koton katonoko. Sending now high frequencies of love, compassion, and forgiveness, so you may release what needs to be released at this time. Just sending these frequencies in a higher frequency than sound. Allowing you to gently step out of that which is no longer serving you. For it never was you, and it isn't you. Allowing you to come into the universal consciousness where you truly reside. And from here, all other programs drop away. Allowing this to bring in a sense of comfort, peace, and joy, and love, and a peaceful sense. Providing a safe place for you to go as you release that which is no longer you. Taro ne sharo te ara no she, te shua na ne she ho to ashe ata shiatona, he shu to ana ne shi hatona, ho to ana ne she hato she, hashu ata she hato hate, he she ato ona nia, no te she te ato, ho to ashtataro o to atana ete. Te ato she te atano oto. So just integrating this connection, and we will continue doing a full connection to connect to Shambhala and the higher frequencies there, to allow to go deeper for this clearing out through the connection to the higher frequencies of enlightenment and awareness that this full moon is fully opening you up to. So I will post the link for that part of the transmission below, or you can join the Patreon group for the new moons or full moons to have easy access to all the transmissions. And if you need personal assistance, you can go ahead and contact me for a personal shamanic Akashic record reading, or Akashic Aura light language session, or Akashic enlightenment training, or the Aqualorian trainings and healings, whatever you feel connected to or drawn to. And if you want to do your own practice, you can start with the Akashic Enlightenment book, which is on Amazon and Kindle or paperback, to start diving deeper into your own personal connection with who you truly are, and connecting to Source and your greater soul alignment and presence consciousness from here. And I will be posting up the information for the new 5 rays of light for the inner Elohim. And there's also the Maui retreat, online retreat, coming up in May as well. So I hope all of this is assisting you, and I'm sending you all so much love and light during this time. I know it can feel like a lot, but again, know that we're all in this together, and everybody is just going through it in their own frequency wave. And if we could be present with them while they go through that, it will accelerate what needs to occur, in the sense of what needs to be revealed so that it can fall away, so the truth can surface. Sending you all so much love and light. I hope you're enjoying your journey, and bye for now.